Parshas Ki Seitzei is the parsha with the most mitzvos in it, each one of which deserves a lifetime worth of study. We're going to use two of them to explain an interesting thought, and that is that Kadosh Baruch Hu's chesed is manifest throughout all of Sefer Devarim. His patience with us, his caring for us, his yearning for our dveikus, for our coming close to him. On the other hand, the feinkeit, the precision, the exactitude of how Kadosh Baruch Hu rules the world is hidden between the lines. The famous pasuk coming up in a few weeks, Hatzor Tamim Pa'alo, Yichod Drachav Mishpat, highlights that thought. We can see it running throughout all of Sefer Devarim if we look for it very carefully. If we look in this week's parsha, two unrelated sections of the parsha will emphasize and bring to great awareness this point. It says in this week's parsha, "Lanochri sashich u'achicha lo sashich," the famous halacha about ribis. Ribis, or neshech, is the isur of the Torah to charge another yid interest if we borrow or lend money. However, the pasuk clearly says right there, "Lanochri sashich u'achicha lo sashich." To a guy, you can charge interest, but to your brother, you cannot charge interest. Throughout our history, I remember this so clearly in yeshiva days. One of our teachers brought this up, that the Goyim had this as a constant complaint against us. It was showing favoritism. It was showing that to a Yid, we don't charge interest, but to a Goy, we do charge interest. How would you answer that? He posed this question to the entire class. One of my friends, who I'm proud to say is still my friend, raised his hand, and he said the following very straightforward and very obvious answer. If Reuven lends Shimon money, he doesn't charge him interest. If Shimon lends Reuven money, he doesn't charge him interest. But if Johnny lends me money, he charges me interest. So if I lend Johnny money, I'm allowed to charge him interest. A guy charges interest. Go to any bank, they charge you interest. So we, as Yidden, are allowed to charge interest to the Goyim because that's what they do to us. We treat them in exactly the same way that they treat us. However, Hashem says, don't do that to your brother. To your brother, you don't charge interest. It just shows you this incredible, exact svara and thought process that goes into each and every part of the Torah. Now, as a treat, I'm going to bring a totally different halacha, which is more at the beginning of the parsha, and that is the halacha about the ben snua and the ben ahuva. And it's really where we learn the halacha of pishnayim for a bachar. The bachar gets pishnayim. It doesn't matter if it's from the snua or the ahuva, whichever wife is the one that had the bachar, that's the one whose child is the bachar. Specifically, the Torah is telling us that if the snua's child has the bachar, he gets pishnayim. He has a bachar ben hasnua yakir, vasas lo pishnayim b'chol hashiyim atzelo, right near the beginning of the parsha. So they brought down the name of the Gra, which is brought down in the Torah Treasure Sefer, which I've been using for many of my talks, that this halacha is two halachas in one. A, that the Bechor receives a double portion. B, that the Bechor only gets that which his father has in his possession at the time of his passing. This is known as a muchzak. As Bechor Yakir, that which he has. If something's coming in the future, there's no pishnayim on that incoming fund, that fund. That's called rotway, that's coming to him. That the Bechor has to share with all of the other children. Now, how do we see this in the actual words of the halacha of Bechor? We see it from the word Bechor itself. Now, it's interesting that in this pasuk, Bechor is written with a shortened version. It's not Beis Chav Vav Reish, it's Beis Chav Reish. It's done on purpose. Why? The numerical value of the letters Beis Chav Reish, which we all know are 2, 20, or 200, they are exactly double of the letters that precede them. Aleph, Yud, and Kuf. 1, 10, and 100, respectively. But they're not double the letters that follow them. This is a remez to the halacha that Bechor receives a double portion only from that which was there before, which was his father's possession before he passed away, preceding his death, but not from the income that's coming after his death. That is so beautiful. That's classic Vilna Gaon. The genius of the Gaon to be able to see that in this halacha is really quite astonishing and breathtaking. As Hashem, we should all be machaving to the Torah's thoughts. We should keep on striving to work harder and harder to ascertain and to reach such a level. And if we strive to it, maybe we'll get a little bit closer to what he was able to accomplish, what we can all accomplish if we try. Good Shabbos.